Hello, my name is Jan, and last year at the main Japanese Woodworking Festival, I gave a talk on woodworking as a practice, and this is to serve as a little recap. So I started the talk by introducing the concept of woodworking as a practice, and then I shared some struggles along my journey and then insights. And along with the struggles, I shared about some obstacles or hindrances, and sort of labeled them and talked about how I've overcome some of those or some I'm still working on. And then we took some questions. And it was such a wonderful talk, and it was so well received that I wanted to go deeper. And so this year we're going deeper. But first, little recap. So usually a practice is referred to uh, in yoga or as a spiritual practice. I, I believe anything can become a practice, and I happen to be woodworking. So over time, it a practice of sort has emerged for me within my woodworking. Early on, when I was deciding what to do with my life, I had some vague form of what I wanted that life to look like or feel like, be like, and I didn't have the words at the time, but later on, an integrated life is what it turned out to be. Wanted no separation between personal life and work life, not in a workaholic kind of no separation, but one that is all embracing. And over time, as that became more and more clear how to go about that, the benefits also became more and more clear. And a sort of practice emerged where I started seeing connections between many different things and not keeping work at work and personal life at home or out and about with friends, but how all aspects of life could help each other. That I don't have to keep them separate, or I don't have to choose one or the other. Um, you know, the good life is when you're not working, or the good life is only when you're working, or some form of division like that. So in time, I've moved more and more towards an integrated life, and so then when looking at it like this, as not so many boundaries, then what you learn in woodworking you can transfer to your personal life. Things like when you are struggling with something, how do you deal with it in woodworking, and then you can translate that into personal life. An example is when you encounter resistance. Well, in woodworking, it's very easy to test what just pushing through will yield. Oftentimes, more pain. But with resistance, if you adjust, shift a little bit, you can find what we call the sweet spot where there is no more resistance and you can move freely. And then I found the same in my personal life. If I was resisting something, it just never felt great. Yeah. and it would only generate more pain, more struggle. Um, but by shifting a little bit and being a little more flexible, then then I could find space where there was less resistance, a lot more smiles. One could say a lot more love, but that's yet another topic. So I shared about, like I mentioned, some of those struggles and then insights I used, sometime pulling from my personal life, sometime pulling from the professional life, uh, and then applying them to other areas of my life, creating a more integrated life. And at the same time, developing some loose form of practice where what I would learn, I would apply everywhere I could. Uh, Easy to get blind spots, but um, you know, I, you do your best and don't worry too much about the rest, and just keep going. Um, Resisting what is was another uh, big hindrance. Wanting things to be different than what they are, and not making the difference between where I would like things to be and where things are now. Wanting things to be further along, or me to be a better craft person, or more skilled, and somehow not enjoying where I was, um, and where I was growing in skill, and that ought to be enough, but without surrendering to the process, I was not able to enjoy that. And it became very apparent over time as an apprentice. Uh, Nothing was good enough or fast enough. And when that goes on for days and weeks and months and then years, um, one if one wants to keep going and not just to quit and do something else, then one has to make peace with that somehow.